Let's bring out our first fighter from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Jesse Boldt.
Jesse Boldt out of Saskatoon. He's an experienced fighter. We're expecting a tough battle here with Matt Fedler. Now, Jesse recognizes that he's got the reach and the height advantage here. His intention will be to try to keep him at range, work his Muay Thai, and if Fedler goes for the takedown, try to work him as hard as he can while he goes for that takedown and get back to his feet, try to work those hands.
Man, you look at the height difference and it's always a significant advantage for a fighter. I know and you know, we got our hearts going for Matt Fedler, such an amazing fighter here in Regina. But Jesse's got lean, he's got the reach, he's got the legs, he's got the distance. If he knows how to put all those together, this could be a really difficult fight for Matt in his pro debut. Jesse's already had 2 fights. He's tasted victory and he's tasted defeat. So he's got the experience. But what I like about Matt Fedler is his attitude. What I like about Matt Fedler is his ability to do things that people don't think he can. He's a wrestler, he's about, what, 5 inches shorter than Jesse here, but last night, we were watching him train, and he was kicking the lights out at Complete MMA like the Green Hornet, or like Kato in the Green Hornet. And we're like, where does he get that kick from? So this could be interesting. If he goes back to that pedigree of wrestling, Jesse Boldt may not let him do that, may push him back, but
Boldt also an aggressive fighter off of his back. He's been working his jiu-jitsu specifically on his stand back ups and also those aggressive submission attempts from the bottom, because he recognizes that if the fight doesn't go the way that it does, the way that Fedler wants it on the feet, Fedler will go for that takedown and he needs to be ready.
And his opponent from Regina, Saskatchewan, Matt Fedler.
Matt Fedler has fans here tonight. People love him.
Great response from the crowd for our local fighters here.
Matt Fedler's so cool. He actually posted a picture of him and his mom today before his fight. His mom suggested, saying, good luck to my son today in this fight. Just down-home, prairie-type guy. U of R alumni, MVP back in 2014. Just a Tasmanian devil, a coach for U of R. Great attitude. I think this kid could be prime minister one day with his media and his PR presence. But tonight is a real proving ground to see what he can do in his professional debut against Jesse Boldt.
Fedler feeling confident in his own hands, plans to keep this fight standing. He's confident he can pick Boldt apart on the feet, but also recognize if it doesn't go his way, he's got that whole other arsenal of ground game in his bag of tricks. Thinks his jiu-jitsu has come a long way in the last couple of years. He's been training for a long time, since his first actual fight, which was at the age of 14. 9 years ago was his first amateur fight. It's been a long road to get here now, but he is ready for this pro debut.
Yeah, and an interesting point to mention here, AJ's actually his head coach, but because he's the promoter of this event, he's not able to corner Matt. And it does mess up with fighters a little bit. But AJ's sideline, you'll be coaching, you'll be yelling at him from there. But AJ actually flew in Wagner Fabiano, former pro fighter who's out of Toronto right now, with the Nova Nyao guys to corner those guys. And you got Mark and Fez as well cornering. So you got a good team in there.
Classic matchup of styles here, striker versus grappler, but again, Fedler very confident in his hands as well.
Matt the Fear Fedler. Look at his t-shirts, even the t-shirts.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout tonight is a lightweight mixed martial arts bout sponsored by Duke Sewer Service Incorporated and Edge Underground Directional Drilling. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with a professional record of 1 win and 1 loss. Standing 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighing in at 155.4 pounds. Fighting out of Modern Martial Arts Center in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Jesse Boldt. His opponent In the red corner, a mixed martial artist making his pro debut. Standing 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighing in 155 pounds. Fighting out of the complete MMA from Regina, Saskatchewan, Matt Fedler.
So excited for this fight as the referee goes through some quick...
Second bout, and the crowd is already blowing the roof off of this place.
Here we go. Watch how they're going to manage distance. Watch their hand position. Understand it's Matt's first pro fight. Jesse's had 2 of them before. He's been here before. Let's see how it goes. Hands are down. Jesse's already breaking for the takedown. He's getting a low stance.
Super low stance.
Took a hard shot there. Matt took a hard shot as he jumped in for the Superman punch. Didn't seem to hurt him too much, but he has to be aware and manage distance. What he doesn't want Jesse to do is manage distance too much.
Jesse's legs are 6 feet apart here as he crouches down to Matt's level. Matt wading in, throwing lefts and rights, but nothing landing with any authority.
Jesse's looking to hit the plum and throw some knees at Matt Fedler's head.
Jesse tossing that jab out there like he promised as well. Smart move by him. Try to keep the shorter Fedler at bay. Fedler ate that one, a bit of sting on it.
Some great footwork here as both guys are almost like playing chess with each other. Watch the front foot on the inside, outside, moving back and forth, trying to get the angle.
Boldt needs to be careful he doesn't throw himself off balance with that jab, and
he does.
Good straight right there. Fedler with a double leg.
There it is! A great shot by Fedler after taking 2 or 3 too many shots. Goes straight side position and is holding him down.
Boldt backed up as far as he could go with nowhere else to go with the turnbuckle there.
Wagner over there,
Fedler,
yelling, coaching. You can see AJ on the side having so much trouble, not doing anything right now.
He's got a good hard neck crank going there, Fedler, but his head looks like it's trapped in this triangle. Incredibly awkward position for both fighters.
It's not a triangle, it's a pain position. He's just trying to get his arm out of there so he can get position. He's not going to do it. Matt's been in these types of positions before. He's just got to work it out. But when you have someone so tall, the advantage of someone like Jesse is like that.
Good power and technique there
to
by
make it
Fedler.
difficult for Matt. Matt's doing everything right. He's got his knees in the right place. Jesse now putting up the need to defend, to get full mount. Jesse continuing to dominate the side position right now.
Good job by Boldt to thwart any offense though from Fedler yet, and Fedler not able to advance his position yet.
Interesting the way Jesse's using the ropes, trying to move that off. Not sure if that helps his position. It does make him a little bit more off balance. To do a sweep, pushes off.
Bucking hard, and doing a good job of getting out as Fedler went for the mount, but Fedler ate a couple of punches on the break as well.
Jesse's got his range down to get that takedown, Matt.
And Fedler ducking under a big right hand, getting that takedown again.
Jesse's really showing he's been here before, taking those punches, but Fedler going back to his wrestling pedigree. Understand, he was a coach and he was the MVP at U of R. Go back to your bread and butter. Go back and put the guy who's got the distance, the long arms, the long hands on the ground and even this up. And that's what Fedler's doing what he does best.
Putting his instep across his knee there to try to push out and get that right leg freezed.
There it is.
There it is.
Good job by Jesse, very technical.
Boldt working a bit of a rubber guard there as well. Lets it go, and Fedler almost into mount again, but good job by Boldt to get back to half guard.
Yeah, Boldt is no pushover here. He's been here lots before, but I don't think he's felt the tenacity of the University of Regina Cougars, the jiu-jitsu of the complete MMA, and the incredible tenacity.
He jumped into it.
And he's going hard for the takedown. He needs to get his legs involved. He needs to pull him through. He's going to push him through. He can't give it up. He's got to pull. Oh, he's lost it.
Pops his head.
He went full. Now he's in trouble with the shots. He's going for an arm bar off that.
Throwing up those legs is smart. He was eating some elbows there.
He's going hard for the arm bar. Just great transition. Took some shots on it. Not afraid to use his jiu-jitsu.
Boldt doing everything right, stacking him up here, putting all of his weight down to prevent him from extending those legs.
He's got to do it. He's got to connect it. He's got to trap that arm. Jesse's doing everything to make sure he doesn't get it. He's having trouble to push out those legs and grab it. He's probably going to wait for that.
Tough to do against the ring as well here. He'd want to be able to flip Boldt over, and Bolt's got the positioning advantage for this. He's able to power those legs through and free that arm. He could probably still do it, flipping to the side, and getting some extension there now.
Come on, Jesse. He's getting it. Jesse's doing a good job. Oh, there it is.
Through, but it's over now. Looks tight.
It's incredible. He's doing it. He's
rolling back and forth. Manages to go.
Good job, Matt.
Finally locks it in. Fedler securing the top.
Amazing, amazing. How about that? Coming of age. And Matt Fedler paid the price.
Face some adversity and rose to the challenge. Taking Boldt down repeatedly, working that arm until Boldt had no choice but to tap. When the end came, it came actually pretty quick.
Paid the cost to be the boss. You look at Matt Fedler, what he did is he got into a bad position, but he understood what he needed to do to take his wrestling and go to pro jiu-jitsu. Look at him do the switch to get to the outside.
Yeah, even just to switch him around so that he could make this happen. Knew he needed to move across to get him flipped over. And
Jesse doing everything to defend here, but Matt not giving up. 3 times his arm's at risk, but he's still fighting. This is a professional attitude here right now. He's getting him, he's getting him. There's the tap. First tap's right there. And Fedler's going for it here. He just says, wow, this guy's tough. Now I really got to take it.
And he bears down there, and the elbow's extended, and no choice for Boldt. It was really that when he tried to shrug his arm out there, that was really the first mistake that he made. It wasn't quite loose. Fedler capitalized. Another fantastic bout here.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner. A tap out due to armbar in the first round, Matt Fedler.
Fabiano taking him for a ride there. Well-deserved victory. Fedler wearing it, but wearing that W a lot more proudly.
Some fight replays here coming up. Jesse was doing such a good job judging distance and tagging off on Matt. Matt had to get this double leg, and boom. Even Jesse with his length, he could have slammed him down there, but just stopped there with that 1 foot, maintaining that side position, trapping that arm in, working that, what he's known since he was a child, this beautiful wrestling pedigree.
Jesse just ran out of room there too on that takedown.
But look at the shots Jesse coming
those
back.
Shots on the way up.
Fedler testing his chin for real there. And he's doing that high kick that we saw him doing out there. Almost tagged him with it. Look at the throw. Good defense by Jesse. Fedler's got to keep running after him with tenacity.
Ducked under and made that transition to that takedown just beautifully. And that was the difference in this fight, those takedowns. Just ran through that first one, and Boldt just ran out of room. Didn't even have time to sprawl, it didn't look like. Just got picked up and taken for a ride.
Look at him go so hard for the arm in, the arm in guillotine, arm out guillotine. And it's so hard to do when guys are so slippery like this. But you know, Jesse had to fight it. He had to he had to push him down on the front, slip out. He was tight. That was trouble. Fedler's and the Complete MMA submissions team are great. And here he is in the most uncomfortable position ever. But he knows if he can just get that inch, he can win this fight. As soon as he gets that arm, you can see him turn his hips. He gets that inch. Jesse doing everything he can defend. Defends well 1, 2, 3 times.
Right there.
And Matt just commits to it. Here we see a tap right here where I think he's tapping. You can check out the hand right there. Don't think he got it. Maybe see it here. It was unbelievable. He's at risk here. Those refs could do a lot better job, I think, on that. Having said that, it was hard to see. You see him continue to do it, and here's where you see the most obvious tap. Tap twice.
Looking for the ref that time because he knew.
Fantastic showing by Matt Fedler, and a great competitive effort from Jesse Boldt.